perfect time to make over old sweatshirts. And here to show us is someone who never needs to be made over herself. That is for sure. You're just always ready to go. It's like you get up out of bed and you're ready for camera.
I wish.
Okay.
I wish.
Well, I wouldn't know that necessarily, but you know, here we go.
So you were talking about how you guys have 1,000 sweatshirts in your house.
We
the
do.
Kids always have a new one on, and I am the same. I cannot walk away from a good sweatshirt.
Yes.
So I've got stacks of them, and this is a really fun opportunity to take some of the stacks that you've got, maybe ones that aren't in the rotation
Fantastic.
as much, give them some new life, especially because we can customize it for fall just by even the lace-ups that we're using or the materials.
It's a great idea because they're always looking, maybe trying to buy the new one or whatever. Instead, they do something like this. Fantastic.
You're
You
like,
got a
go
couple
in your closet.
Yeah, that's right.
Bring me something. Yeah.
I will
precisely.
help you transform it. I have learned from the master. Okay, you got a couple different versions. Let's start up. What do we call this one? The lace up?
Yeah, this one is the lace up. This is really great because, again, not only can you make this work for fall colors, but it also is a really great kind of nod to football season, and you can play with your favorite team colors or whatever. So the first thing that you want to do is fold the sweatshirt in half, but separating the front from the back. So I'm going to grab it like this, and you see how the back is in the back and the front is in the front.
And why do we do this?
Because we're going to cut the V, and you want to cut it at the same time so you're guaranteed to be centered. But the most important part of this always is lining up your seams. So what you want to do is look on the inside for the raglan raglan seam or any seam that your sweatshirt has, and then also double check your sides on the bottom. Because if I'm not even here, then I'm cutting in half, and all of a sudden my V is moving without me.
A little askew. Okay,
exactly.
Good. Great.
So now you decide how deep you want that V. So again, I've got mine cut really low, but it's laced up tight. So just because you're going low doesn't mean you're going to show a lot of skin. Just decide on how deep you want it. This very first cut is super important because that's the V. That is the exact point.
Gotcha.
So you want it to be super crisp. Now you work your way up, and I would say once you get to about 3 inches from the top, stop and open it. Because what you'll find is if you kept cutting at the same time, I might have cut this one lined up perfectly, but this side over here kind of veered off a little bit.
Slightly, right. You can't be exact. So now you finish it off.
When you can see it. You can see both sides now.
Whereas if you tried to do the whole V like that, it would have been tough to get it perfectly symmetrical.
Because you're blind on the backside.
So many good tips. And so we're leaving the collar in, I see.
Yeah, you don't have to. As you can see on this one over here, I didn't. I cut the collar out. Well, actually, no, sorry. On this one, I didn't. I cut the collar out. So it just depends on how you want to do it.
Gotcha.
Really makes no difference. It's just your personal style. All right, so now we've got our V, and it's time to create the actual lace up. There's amazing products out there, different materials that you can use. Grommet tape is one, and it's basically grommets that are already set into a twill tape, so you don't have to go and individually set them in. There's also things like this, which is sort of a faux leather trim that has a scalloped edge. You can find whatever works for you.
Okay, fantastic.
When you are laying this on, you want to visualize how it's actually functioning. Where is it lacing up? Because what I've done before is I've glued it down in a way that looks really nice, forgetting that now I can't get to the grommet.
Guess who would have done that?
Yeah.
This guy right here.
You and
this
me.
Guy. I
You
would have
and
been
me.
like, this looks great, but does not function
I know.
at all.
So at this point, you're going to think about your top and your bottom.
Okay.
You want to angle your twill tape in a way that works with the lines on the top. So take your scissors, and let's say I want to work with the existing raglan sleeve there.
Okay. Oh, I
cut it on an angle.
On the same line as that seam, yes.
So it looks like it's coming out from that angle.
Gotcha.
You would then apply your glue only to the outside, that way the inside is free.
Yes.
Run it all the way down, and you're gonna do the same thing here. Now, based off of your trim, if you're able to cut it, again, on an angle like this, that way your other side can be cut the same and you have a V, do it. If you can't, you can just cut like that.
And then you could come it off sort of like flush on the bottom. Okay, very good.
Exactly. Then you would lace it up.
And that one side of the glue, like you said, the fabric tack, that's enough to hold everything in place since you will be kind of tying these up?
Absolutely.
No big deal like that?
Yeah,
just like that, everybody. Okay, good.
It holds.
Now we're going to do the other version. The other version is sort of a lace version.
Yeah, and I actually I took a photo of this one on so you can see how cool it looks. The back is sort of open on the top, and it has the really delicate detail of the lace. You can have the lace go all the way up or not. This is where you get to play designer.
Do you ever amaze yourself when you see photos like that? Do you ever like, oh, wow, I'm amazing?
Could you imagine if I was like, yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. I looked at myself right there and I thought, wow.
Let's
I
continue.
look amazing. Okay, so you can see I've already done this. I've already cut this out. I mean, honestly, what if I said the same to you?
No.
Like,
listen,
Cameron, do you ever look
you
at
do
yourself
a
and
great
just
job,
think,
Orly.
Okay, so we've got our back that we've already cut out. Again, if you wanted to cut the collar out, you could. I'm going to leave this one in.
Right, okay, good.
Fabric glue.
Got it.
Whole sucker is going to come together with fabric glue. If you know how to sew, you can absolutely sew this.
Is that the same glue that we used for the other seam? Yeah, okay, good.
Exactly.
Just making sure.
So what you want to do is you want to basically run all along the edge here. And you're going to glue everything first. And what I would do is I'd actually go just about half because you want to make sure that you can lay it down. Because what we're going to do now, thank you, is going to take our big piece, right?
Sure.
This is oversized at this point.
Yep.
And I'm just going to lay it on top. Just like that.
Oh my goodness.
And now you just kind of tap it into place.
And something as lacy as this with as much sort of, I'm going to call it air, you just kind of tap it down where you need to, and otherwise the glue will just dry.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
very good.
So then what you would do is you'd fold this back, you would add glue to the bottom.
Finish that off.
Right, and now lay it.
And then tap, tap, tap.
Now
Good.
it comes to cutting off the excess. Once this is dry, you would be able to pull at it and see what's free and what's not.
Gotcha.
With something like this, I actually think it's really pretty to work with the existing shape.
Okay.
So kind of run along these pieces and work with them almost like little appliques so that you have this nice kind of organic edge. If you don't have that and you just have a regular lace, what I would recommend doing is just seaming it up in a way that makes it look professional and finished. So a little bit of velvet ribbon, which by the way, all these velvet ribbons were the excess from the bed skirt that I did. So you can reuse all your materials for different purposes, swap them out for new colors, especially the laces, depending on the season. And then a last one I just want to show you real quick. I did this. It has a little bit of tulle in the back, and it's like a pearl tulle. And so what I did is just add a couple of pearls. There's like an extra little run of pearls all along the edge there.
Oh, I like that.
Just to give it a final crisp detail. So again, you just want to think about how you can finish it.
And you
all
left
off.
a little extra border there too.
As a little like ruffle. Exactly.
Orly, you've done it again.
Pretty.
Fantastic. Great job. Full instructions, everybody. Go over to hallmarkchannel.com. They will all be there.